Agenda for today's class. Number 1, welcome. 2, social emotional content. 3, content. 4, objective. Number 5, reflection. 6, content development. And number 7, questions and answers. Let's continue.
Good morning, my dear students from 6th graders. How do you feel today? Welcome to a new English class. Today we are going to continue working in the activities for this week. Pay attention to the instructions, follow the instructions, participate in the class. If you want to ask me something related with the activities, you can write me on this chat. And remember, don't distract your classmates, okay? So, my dear boys and girls, it's time to continue with our social emotional content. So, let's watch this video and try to participate. What do you understand about the video? Write your ideas, write your comments on this chat. Here we go.
Ping pong. Ping pong.
The Greedy Dog. One day, while a hungry dog was walking along the street, he came across a huge piece of meat.
Ruff, ruff. Wow, what's this? This is the largest piece of meat I've ever seen.
The hungry dog quickly bit down on the meat and thought,
Yum, all mine. I'm going to enjoy this all by myself. Hum.
A little later, the dog came across the bridge over a stream, and he started to cross it. But to his surprise, a dog in the stream below was looking at him with an even bigger piece of meat in his mouth.
Huh? Hey, that dog has some meat too. And his is bigger than mine. I'm going to take it from him.
The greedy dog started barking at the dog in the stream.
Ruff, ruff. Give me that. Ruff, ruff.
When the dog opened his mouth to bark, he dropped his meat into the water.
Huh? Oh no! My meat fell! What have I done?
That's when the greedy dog realized that the dog in the stream was his own reflection.
Oh, my meat!
There was a crow that really hated his black feathers.
Why? Why me? Why are all of my feathers so...
Content. Where do you work? According to this, boys and girls, what do you think the content will be about? What we are going to study today? Where do you work? We are going to talk about places of work. Pay attention and let's continue. The objective for this class is to identify places of work. Now we have in here the reflection for today. One small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. What do you understand about it? Tell me. Write your opinions on this chat. I'm going to read it. According to this reflection, it says that you have to think positive all the time. Think positive every day. Why? Because if you say, okay, today will be bad for me, what is going to happen is that your day will be bad. But if you have a positive mind, if you have a positive attitude, if you have a positive thought, and you say, so this day will be great. This day will be awesome. This day will be beautiful for me. What is going to happen is that your day will be awesome. Your day will be amazing, great, beautiful. For that reason, boys and girls, it is important that you wake up with a positive thought. Okay, now I'm going to tell you this in Spanish. Un pensamiento pequeño positivo en la mañana puede cambiar tu día. This is the traduction in Spanish. Now, what do you understand? Tell me. So, let's continue with the next point of this class. Well, as you know, the content for this class is where do you work? So, the vocabulary is related with places of work, lugares de trabajo. As you can see here in the pictures, what you have to do is identify what is the corresponding place of work. This one. What is this? Here we have the name. This place of work is bank. Bank. If you want to take notes in your notebook, it's okay. Pueden tomar nota en su cuaderno del vocabulario. Okay? Then, the next picture, this one is hospital. Hospital. What is this? What is this place of work? Look at the picture and tell me. What is this? This is a drugstore or pharmacy. Drugstore. Farmacia. Next one. This is an office. Office. Next picture. Restaurant. This is a school. And the last place of work is travel agency. Do you understand everything? Do you know the meanings for these words in Spanish? I suppose the majority knows this in Spanish too. But if you have to ask me something about the names, for example, if you don't know what is the meaning of travel agency in Spanish, you can write me on this chat. Okay? Now, this is related with the vocabulary. We are going to continue working on our English ID. Take out your English ID. Let's continue. Well, it's time to start working in our English ID starter. I'm going to give you some seconds in order you can take out your book. English ID starter. Okay. What is the page in which we are going to start working right now? Page number 32. Look for page number 32. Well, this is a page in which we are going to start working in this moment. Okay? Page number 32, as I was telling you before. As you can see on this page, we have the content that I presented, and it is where do you work? Where do you work? When someone asks you, where do you work? Or in your case, you can ask me, teacher, where do you work? My answer will be, I work in a school. I work in a school. If I ask you, where does your mother work? Where does your father work? Where do your parents work? You are going to answer depending on the place of work. Okay? Su respuesta va a depender del lugar de trabajo de ellos. And here we have another question. It says, what's the best place to work? Do you understand this in Spanish? What's the best place to work? ¿Cuál es el mejor lugar para trabajar according to this? If you want to mention other places of work, it's okay. It's not a problem. Okay. According to this picture, this represents downtown. Letter B, drugstore. C, home. D, travel agency. E, office. What's the best place to work? I suppose that the majority of you are going to say and are going to answer, well, teacher, my best place of work is at home. But you have to think on this. Working at home has advantages and disadvantages, right? Tiene sus ventajas y desventajas de trabajar en casa, ¿verdad? But you can choose one of these places according to your own ideas. What's the best place to work? Okay. Now, what you are gonna do? We are gonna guess the pronunciations. Pronunciation. This one. In a bank. In a hospital. In a restaurant. In a school. Downtown. Downtown. In a drugstore. At home. In an office. In a travel agency. This is the pronunciation for these words, for these places of work. And now you are going to say, but teacher, what I'm going to do on these spaces? I'm going to mention the numbers for each one. In a school. Number 1. Number 2. In a hospital. 3. In a bank. 4. In a restaurant. In a restaurant. And on these spaces, we have in here downtown. What of these pictures represent downtown? This one, letter A. Write letter A on this little box. Acá van a escribir las letritas en esos cuadros. Okay. In a drugstore, what is the picture that represents in a drugstore? Letter B. At home, letter C. These are in order. In an office, letter E. In a travel agency, letter D. Letter D. So, I'm going to play the audios on the next presentation in order you can practice listening skill. En la siguiente presentación les voy a agregar lo que son los audios porque es muy importante practicar listening, right? Okay. And here we have common mistakes. Common mistakes. I work in the downtown is correct? No. The correct option is I work downtown. Like this, downtown. I work in home. No. The correct one is I work at home. At home, not in home. Then she's not here. She's at school. Like this. Así como están acá, los tienen que utilizar, chicos. I work in a drugstore. I work at home. I work in an office. My mother works in a drugstore. My mother works in an office. My father works in a travel agency, etc. Okay? Now, at the moment, or in order to complete these activities, I'm going to play the audios on the next presentation. Okay?
Video 3.11. Many people don't have a job, but on today's program, we talk to people who have not one, but 2 jobs. Where do they work? In a school and in a restaurant? In a hospital and a drugstore? Or in a travel agency and in a bank or an office? Do they work downtown? Do they work at home? Let's hear their stories. Point 12. What do you do, Hannah?
I have 2 jobs. I'm a secretary and a sales clerk.
A secretary. Do you work in an office?
Yes, I do. I work in a law office downtown, but only in the mornings.
And where do you work as a sales clerk?
In a drugstore, but only in the afternoons.
Which do you prefer?
Oh, a sales clerk. It's great.
What do you do, Victor?
I'm a web designer, and I'm a waiter too.
I see. Where do you work as a web designer?
Well, I'm freelance and I work at home. It's fabulous.
And a waiter? Do you work in a restaurant?
Yes, I work in an Italian restaurant in Brooklyn. It's a terrible, horrible job.
Well, after listening the audio related with this exercise, I'm going to show you the answers, but it is important that you know these questions. And we have people with 2 jobs. People with 2 jobs. Question number 1 is, who are they? What do they do? And the last, where do they work? Do you know these questions in Spanish? Do you know the meanings of these questions in Spanish? I suppose that the majority is going to say yes. But if you want to ask me the traduction for these questions, you can write me on this chat. Let's watch the answers. Okay, Hannah is a sales clerk. You are going to write this on this space. And Victor is a freelance designer. Here. He is a freelance web designer and freelance designer. This is all related with this activity. Now we are going to continue working in our workbook. Okay? Now open your workbook. In this case, look for page number 99. Page number 99. This page. Okay. Ready? I suppose yes. As you know, this is the main content that we are studying, right? Where do you work? What you are going to do on the first activity. Complete the crossword with the names of workplaces. We have across and we have down. Across is horizontal, down, vertical. Number 1. We are going to start with the sentences on this, across. A barista works in a. A barista works in a. Try to guess the answer. Then I'm going to show you. 2. A freelancer works at. 3. A teacher works in a. Number 4. A professor works in a. 5. A teller works in a. Then we have in here down, down. A lawyers and executives works in a. Number 2. Receptionists welcome tourists at a. A doctor works in a. 4. A cook works in a. And number 5. A pharmacist works in a. How many did you guess? How many did you guess? ¿Cuántas lograste escribir? ¿O cuántas lograste adivinar? Okay, now I'm going to show you the answers. Okay. Across. A barista works in a café. Take notes. Complete the crossword. Vayan completando el crucigrama, chicos. Acá tenemos las respuestas. Number 2. A freelancer works at home. Home. Number 3. A teacher works in a school. 4. A professor works in a university. And number 5, a teller works in a bank. These are the answers for across. Okay, now down. Vamos con las que son verticales. 1. Lawyers and executives work in an office. Receptionists welcome tourists at a hotel. 3. A doctor works in a hospital. Number 4. A cook works in a restaurant. And number 5. A pharmacist works in a drugstore. These are the answers. Well, then we have in here the next exercise, number 2. Match photos A to E to 5 of the workplaces in one. What is this? Letter A, hotel. Try to guess. Letter B, as you can see the picture, this is an office. It can be right. Letter C, bank. D, drugstore. And letter D is a restaurant. Let's show you, or let's see the answers. Okay, here we have. If you want to take notes, or in this case, you have to take notes related with this. Okay, according to the pictures, right? Number 3, complete A to F with in, a, or at on these spaces. My job is fantastic. I'm a singer. In a jazz club, in jazz club, or at jazz club. What do you think is the correct option? I'm going to give you some seconds in order you can think and try to write the correct options. Les voy a dar unos segunditos para que piensen, chicos. Realícenlo, escríbanlas y cuando les muestre las respuestas para ver cuántas subieron buenas. Eso es muy importante también, para que vayamos entendiendo un poquito mejor. Okay. Here we have in a, at, in a, and in. These are the correct options. Take notes about these options of the corresponding spaces. According to exercise 4, the instruction says order the words in A to G to make equations. This one, remember, these are equations. At the moment to ask or write equations, you have to take into account that this is going to start with the auxiliary do or does. But in this case, do. What are the correct equations? Think about it and write the order for these equations. I'm going to show you this. Okay. Letter A is, where do you study English? B, do you like your school? Yes, I do, or no, I don't. Where do you work? B, what do you do? Remember, what do you do means in Spanish, ¿a qué te dedicas, right? No, ¿qué haces? No, ¿a qué te dedicas? Letter E, what do you want to do? ¿Qué quieres hacer? F, where do you want to work? ¿Dónde quieres trabajar? Letter G, do you like your job? ¿Te gusta tu trabajo? Okay, this is the order for these equations. Write them on the lines. Write them on the lines that you have on this exercise. Okay? Did you finish? Did you finish? Okay. Very good. And the last exercise for this page is complete the survey with be or do. Listen to check. But in this case, you are going to do it without the audio. Job market survey. Number 1, what's your name? What is the correct one? What is your name? My name is. And these questions are very easy to do. Okay. Here you have the correct options. Complete the exercise. Complete the exercise. Now we are going to read the questions and answers. What is your name? My name is. Number 2. Are you employed? Yes, I am, or no, I'm not. 3. Do you work? 4. What do you do? 5. Do you work freelance? 6. Do you work at home? 7. Where do you work? And number 8. Do you like your job? These are the questions, these are the complement for these activities. If you have any questions about these exercises, you can write me on the chat. Let's continue. Well, and the magic words are, the class is finished for today. We are going to continue the next week. Thank you for your attention and for your participation during this class. And remember, if you have any question to ask me related with the activities we developed, you can write me on this chat. This is the moment. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. See you. Take care.
just enough to make you smile, and you need me to hold you close, and all your fears that you dream of will disappear and flood